Okay, we should be good now. Can everyone hear me? Thumbs up if you know how to use the thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time zone you are on. So, welcome and thank you for joining us this morning. It's morning in Dallas. So, it's 10:02 a.m. Um, and we have this is probably our last session for the initials. So, I want to give just 3 more minutes for other students to join, so we can start exactly at 10:05. Just bear with us. 3 more minutes, and then we'll get started. Okay, it's 10:05. Good morning again, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this information session. And thank you for joining us this morning. This is the information session for initial students. And my name is Nelson Ashura. I'm one of the DSOs here at Dallas College. I will be presenting the first part of this presentation. I will have our DSO Yolanda Johnson, who will be presenting the second part. And we have other DSOs on the chat. We have DSO John Lennox and Ricardo Williams, who will be monitoring the chat. So for quick housekeeping, if you don't know how to utilize, we have a packed house, so we'll be using chat. So if you have a question or you want to respond to something I'm saying or the DSO is presenting, they have some icons on the top of your screen. Uh, you can utilize those thumbs up. You can chat. You can put them. You can drop some chats in the chat box. And if you have a question, please type it in the chat box, and there will be a DSO on the chat to respond to your questions. And if we have time towards the end, we'll get to those questions as well. Okay. So if you have a question while we are presenting, you just type it on the chat, and the DSO will be gladly happy to respond to that question. And when we have time, again, we will respond to the questions toward the end. If not, the DSOs will do that to the chat. Okay, so let's get started. But before we do that, I just want to know who are those that they're on the call today. So we want to know those different countries that are represented here. Dallas College is comprises of a lot of different countries, nationalities. So if you can start by utilizing the chat, type in your country. What country are you from? Let's see those countries. Let's get you busy. So let's make sure I'm not talking to myself. Okay, we have Tanzania, we have Morocco, we have Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Mexico, Qatar, Nigeria, Senegal, Gabon. A student there has two nationalities. Okay, Portugal, Mexico, Canada. Okay, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Vietnam, Nigeria, Angola, Libya. Oh, a lot of Canadas. Okay, Ghana. Okay, so we see we have a lot of countries from all over the world, from Africa to South America to Asia to Middle East to America, North America, Europe, so everywhere. So we got representation everywhere. That's good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing Dallas College to pursue your educational goals. Thank you. And some of you are already here in the country. Some of you are still to go for your visas. Good luck with that. We pray that you have favor and come join us here at Dallas College. Okay, so let's get started. During this information session, this is what we'll be covering for this few hours that we have together. Okay, we'll be looking at F-1 student visa status, how to maintain that F-1 student visa status in the U.S. So we'll be looking at the academic success at Dallas College. We'll be looking at academic programs. We'll be talking about the success coaching and the resources for F-1 that we offer here at Dallas College. So please pay attention. We know it's a lot of materials to cover. If you have to take photo on some of the slides, you can take photos so you can go back and remind yourself. If you have to jot it down, please do that so you can always be like a refresher. Okay. All right. So, International Admissions and Compliance Office, that is the office that handles our international students here at Dallas College. And this is our office, and we are 12 members in a team. We have one PDSO with the principal designated school officer and associate dean. And then we have 7 DSOs and then 4 coaches on recruitment and retention. So you must have been contacted or been in touch with at least two of us, the coach that sent you the link and the DSO that provided your I-20. Okay, so this is our team. This will be your best friends for your time here at Dallas College for they will be monitoring all your compliance aspect here at Dallas College or your time here in the US and at Dallas College. So they are your best friends. So make them your friends, visit them, talk to them. They're nice people. Okay? We are nice people. All right? Okay. So you all have been accepted and issued I-20 for the spring of 2025. Okay? So in order to be in compliance with the law, you have an F-1, you got all these regulations that govern F-1 status. So in order to be compliant, one of those requirements to be compliant is to maintain a full course of study. So which means if you're here for the fall and you've been accepted or admitted to an English program, which is ESOL, English as a Second Language, you have to register for 9 credit hours. 9 credit hours. If you are in for ESOL, pathway, 12 credit hours. If you've been accepted or admitted here for college level, 12 credit hours. We will have a breakdown of these different programs subsequently in the next probably couple of slides down. Okay, so just understand the number of hours that you are supposed or you must register for to be in compliance with the law. If you are here for this spring and you register for classes for this spring and you register for 9 credit hours, you are not in compliance. Your name will be flagged and you start receiving emails. And if you don't adjust that, then you'll be gone. You get in trouble. Okay. But if you were to be in summer, well, after spring is summer. So some of you will be taking summer classes. So summer, it has different regulations. So it's 8 credit hours for ESOL, 6 credit hours for pathway and college level. Remember, you see the spring and fall is different because the spring and fall, they are the long semesters. And then the summer is a short one of 10 weeks. So they're different. Okay. So we have to understand those different credit hours to register for. So we will be seeing that detailedly in the next slide. Okay. All right. So let's look at the different programs now. We just mentioned them. Now let's go into details. Okay. ESOL, which is English as a Second Language. So it's a program where you improve from your English. If you're from a country that English is a second language, and you start with ESOL, and so this is what you will be registering for. So you have to register for 9 credit hours, and all of the classes have to be in person on campus. There will be no online class for ESOL. Okay, so you have to be in class. So beware of the length of your I-20. So ESOL, their I-20, they are a little shorter than their regular associate programs because you're expected to finish ESOL and then get into college level. So their programs usually 12 months or 12 months or 15 months or 2 or 24 months, but less than that usually. Okay. And once you complete with this ESOL, and it's time for you to move to the next level, we call that change of educational level, then there will be another requirement for you so that we have to change your I-20 from that ESOL to college level or to pathway, whichever case that applies. Okay. So the length of the I-20, you have to keep an eye on it. If your ESOL I-20 expires and then we don't change, you don't request to change from that ESOL to college level, then you just be without. You have to be out of status because you don't have anything. Your I-20 expires. So that's why we say you have to keep an eye. Just keep an eye. Know the length of your I-20, and even though we'll be reminding you or would let you know when that time comes, but it's your responsibility to know the length of your I-20. That's for ESOL, okay? Please note that ESOL, register, if you're registering for classes, is 9 credit hours, and all those classes have to be in person, okay? All right, so we talked about ESOL. Now is pathway, ESL pathway. So what is a pathway? If you look at the screen, you see the bridge. It's kind of like a bridge that leads to somewhere. So ESL pathway is like a bridge from ESOL to college level. So if you are in a pathway program, you'll be taking some ESOL classes and some college level classes. So that's why they call it like pathway. It's in between ESOL and college level. So you'll be taking some classes on both sides. So you are on a pathway. So which means you are not completely college ready, but you are in ESOL and you are pathway. You're on a pathway, so you're taking some college level classes because you're ready for those classes, and then you're taking some ESOL just to finish it up. Okay, so that's ESOL pathway. And for this program, you have to register for 12 credit hours, just like I said, which includes some of it will be ESOL classes, some of it will be college level classes. Okay, and then you have to follow a specific degree plan for the major that will be on the major 2 on your I-20. So you have a major 1 on the I-20 when you have ESOL pathway I-20. So you have major 1 and major 2. So the major 2 is what once you finish with your pathway, the program that you go to next. Okay, so if they all spelled out on your I-20, if you take a look at your I-20, you will see that major 1, major 2. Okay. And so you have to follow a specific degree plan. So when you're pathway, remember I said you are taking some of the college level classes. So those college level classes that you're taking has to be aligned to that program that is on your major 2. Okay, that will be a program of study that is on a major 2. Okay, so if you have any question at one point while you're here and you're confused about, okay, what is going on with this thing, you don't know anything, or how do I change it? Your DSO, remember I told you your DSO, we are your best friends here. Your DSO will be here to assist you. Okay, you got to talk to us so we can assist you. Okay, good. Is it clear? Give me thumbs up if I'm making sense, and give me thumbs down if I need to repeat that. Okay, we clear? Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up. Okay, and now you try to put on your hand. Okay, yes, good. That's it. Thumbs up. Thank you. Now, let's go to the next program. So remember, we've talked about ESOL, we talked about ESL pathway, and now we're talking about the college level programs. Okay, that's your associate program. And in the program, you have to be enrolled in 12 credits. And the programs, they have to run entire semester. So in the summer, remember I told you we have 10 weeks in the summer. In the spring and fall, we have 16 weeks classes. So those classes have to run for the 16 weeks. Okay. So the 12 credits, and 3 of those credits out of that 12, 3 of them, which in some cases is one class, has to be, it can be, it don't have to be. If you choose to take online class, then you have just one class to take online. And the remaining 3 classes, which is 9 credit, has to be in person, physical, in a class. I've seen the cases where students were like, oh, I just want to take classes online. No. that is one of the regulations that governed F-1 status. You cannot take all online classes. That is a violation. You cannot take 2 online classes. That is a violation. So if you are in a college level program and you have 12 credits, 9 of those have to be in person and 3 online if you choose to. You can take all of it on in person if you choose, if you want to, but you cannot take all of it online. Okay, and those courses have to follow your program of study, your major that you've selected. So the classes has to be aligned with that. Okay, you can't just take uh, random classes. If you take random classes, what happen is it will take you a long time to finish your program, and then your I-20 will run out. You come to the end of your I-20 when you've not finished your program, and then you still have to go, and then without finishing your program. So that is, you're wasting time and you're wasting money. Okay, so we have to make sure you align your classes to that program of study that you have chosen to pursue. Okay, and you have to inform us, your DSO, and the success coach. We'll talk about success coach later. So you may be hearing the word success coaching. We'll talk about it. DSO Yolanda will talk about that, who they are, and what you expect from them. Okay. So if you want to change your program of study, if at one point you decide, okay, you know what, I have chosen to do Associate of Arts and Science, but now I want to change it to something else. You cannot just change it and then just stay, because then your I-20 will be something different, and then you'll be doing something different. That is violation as well. So you have to let us know so that we can go ahead and change the program on your I-20, and so your classes will align with that program. Okay, so we have to be very careful with this. Don't just change your program at will and then without letting us know, even though you have the capability to do that, but we advise you, because that will be a violation if we don't align those classes to your program, and your I-20 does not reflect that as well. Okay, so for us to be aware of it so that we can change your I-20 to match that program, we have to know. We can't know if you don't tell us. We'll probably catch it later on, but it might be too late for you, and that would not be good. Okay, are we following? Are we getting it? Good. Only 2 people, only 3 people, 4 thumbs up. Okay, now I see a lot. All right, that is good. Okay. So before we get to summer, so let me see if I've been talking to myself or some of you have been following. Okay. So how many programs have we talked about? How many programs did we talk about? Okay. Ayesha, good, good, good. Abel, yes. Okay. Remy, Hannah. Okay, yes, that's good. You guys are following. So we talked about 3. We talked about ESOL, ESL pathway, and the college level. That's good. You guys are smart. Okay. So now we got the compliance side for registering classes and the programs. Let's look about the summer. Okay, maintaining status in summer. Maintaining a status in summer is different. Different from the spring. Okay. So you all have been accepted, admitted to the spring. So if you have a visa and you're here, you'll be for spring. So which means next summer will be optional for you. If you choose to attend classes in the summer, that is good. You can do that. If you don't want to attend classes in the summer, then you take vacation. You can do that as well. But if you were not granted a visa, and then you reapplied, and then we deferred your admission to summer, and then you come in for the summer as your first semester, you don't have that option. So you have to be here in the summer and you have to follow that regulations. Okay. So in as much as summer is optional this summer, this coming summer or May will be optional for those who started in the spring. When you start in the summer, then the next summer, 2026, that will be the one that will be optional for you. Okay. So if you're here for the spring, and then summer will be optional, except if you choose to. But if you're beginning in the summer, then summer is mandatory. However, to enroll in the summer, you must enroll in 3 credit hours for ESOL program, ESL pathway, and college level. Remember we talked about it? 6 credit hours and 8 credit hours for the ESOL new students. Okay? So 6 and 8. 6 for ESL pathway, and then 8 credit hours for ESOL English. Okay? So those are the credits, those are the number of credits you have to apply if you are doing summer. If you choose to do summer, remember summer is optional for you if you're starting in the spring. Okay? So this is a portion that is abstracted from your I-20. If you have your I-20, if you look down, you look into the first page of your I-20, you will see program of study, educational level. Remember, I talked about this major 1 and major 2 on if you're on ESL pathway. Okay, this I-20 is an ESL pathway program I-20. So you see educational level is pathway program. And then major 1, you see the second language is second English language. Then the major 2 is a program that you will study once you get to college level, right? So that in that order. And then you have the program start date. You want to also, I did mention that you want to keep an eye on the length of your I-20. That's where you see it. Program starts and end date. Your program starts. So this I-20 shows program starts January 17 and end December 20th. Okay, your own says something different. Okay, it starts from January 2024 to December, whatever case may be, for depending on your program. Okay, so keep an eye on that. All right. So we're looking at education change of education level. So I did mention that if you are in ESOL or you want to change and you're about to change to the next level, which is either pathway or college level, we'll need some documentation from you as well. Okay, there is some steps that you need to take in order for us to change your educational level, and then to issue you an updated I-20. So in order to do that, you must present new proof of financial support. So remember the bank statements or the bank letter that you provided when you send in your package. We'll still need an updated one, okay, for us to update your I-20. So you'll need that, and then we'll need an affidavit, which is page 7 of that package that you did submit earlier, okay? So we need that. That's just showing the sponsor has to sign on it to say, okay, I give approval for this my dependents I'm sponsoring to take care in the college. Okay, so we need you to do that. For example, you're changing from ESOL program to ESL pathway or any other associate program, you can change that. So from ESOL program to ESL, and from ESL pathway to associate. Okay, if you're changing any of that, we'll need that bank statement and your affidavit. Okay, the same way, if you're doing from ESL pathway to associate program, we'll still need that as well. Or from associates to the few bachelors that we have, we'll need that as well. Okay, those are different ways to do educational to change your educational level. Okay, we good? Good. Thumbs up. Understand? Good. Thank you. All right. That's great. So, concurrent enrollment. Concurrent enrollment is just in Dallas College, you can, well, regulation says you can do concurrent. You can be here at Dallas College and you see a class, say, at UT Arlington that you like or you really want to take, and that class is not offered here at Dallas College, then you can talk to DSO, and DSO will give you approval to take that class from UNC while you are still here. So that is concurrent. So just taking classes at two SAVP school at the same time. But 9 of those classes that you're taking has to be from the school that has your service or your I-20. So if you're here, just like you're here, and you want to take one class at another school, just talk to a DSO, and the DSO can approve that if that class is not offered here, and then you can take that one class, which is 3 credit from another school, and then the remaining 9 credit has to be from here, so making it 12 credits. Okay, that's just concurrent. But concurrent enrollment is not applicable for ESOL or ESL. It's just for college level, just for the associate program. Okay. We all understand what concurrent enrollment now means. You can take classes on two schools, but most of the credits have to be from your school the school that has your I-20. Okay, that's good. Okay. So some of you will ask, okay, what if I fail a class? What do I do? Okay. What if I fail a class? Do I get in trouble if I fail a class? We all sometimes fail classes. Something might happen, and then you fail a class. It's not the end of the world. Okay. So, but you can fail one class and still maintain a 2.0 GPA and above. Okay. But if you fail everything, then you won't have that 2.0 GPA. So if you have to fail everything, that's when there'll be a problem. Okay. Then you will be, but that means your GPA will fall below 2.0 GPA, and then you'll be on academic probation. Now, your GPA has to be 2.0 and above. If it goes below on the first time, you go on academic probation. And then you have to repeat, right? Retake the class. So if the next semester comes and you still fail and the GPA, you fail to improve and the GPA is still below the 2.0, you will be on academic suspension. Does anybody knows what termination means? Termination, if you know what termination, can you type it? Because your suspension would then lead you to be terminated. Termination, cancellation, okay. Okay, all right. Expelled, okay. End of visa status, okay. Yes, okay. Revoked, okay. Well, you are kind of right, yes. So once you are on academic probation and then you fail to improve the following semester, it goes to suspension, and that suspension leads to termination. Termination is you got to go. Okay, you end, you got to go. So which means you have to either look for another school that would take that terminated status and then start filing for reinstatement and pay some money. And that is a long process that we don't want to get there. You don't want to go through reinstatement stuff. So in order not to get there, you don't want to start with probation. You don't want to get to suspension, because suspension will just lead you to termination, and it's a long process. because when you terminate it, that I-20 is done. Okay, so which means you got to leave from Dallas College. You can't study here again. You got to go somewhere else, and then you go look for another school. Will send your terminated status I-20 to them. Then they have to file for reinstatement. You have to pay some money, and then you go through all that, or you got to get a lawyer involved. That is a lengthy stuff that you don't want to get into. Okay, so in order to avoid all that, just be good, attend your classes, work hard to be good in good standing. Okay, that is the only way to avoid it. If you're not attending classes, it can lead to failure and then eventually termination. Excessive absences is violation and termination. Okay, so you're here to study, put your head down and do it. Okay, so we don't get into the termination. All right, we good with that? I want to stress on this one. So I want to see a lot of thumbs up if you understand. If not, I have to repeat it. I will do it again because we try to we try for you not to get to that termination. Okay, so if you can understand it, and then we'll stay away from it, the better for us all. Okay, so good. I see, like everybody understands termination and how to avoid termination. All right. Okay. Now, if you fail in a class, we just talked about if you fail a class, you can still fail a class and then you still maintain your 2.0 GPA. But how do you avoid that? So if you're failing and you realize that, oh, I'm failing this class, I had hard time for this class. So what is the first thing that you do? Talk to the instructor. You have difficulties in that class, talk to the instructor. The instructors are human beings just like you and I. Okay? So talk to them. Like go to instructors like, please, sir, I have challenges with this. Maybe it's a method, and then the instructor will see how to improve or how to what help he can give to you, so you can improve on that failing class. Okay, and then if your instructor has tried, the instructor has tried, and still nothing is going, and you're still failing, you still see that oh it's not working out, you're still failing, then you have to let us know. Do not see those capital letters on there. Do not drop that class because you see, oh, I'm failing it. I have three students this week that came here and were crying because they dropped the class because oh I was failing that class, so I thought I could just drop it. No, you cannot drop it. And then now they're terminated because they dropped that class. At any point in time, you drop a class and you fall below the required number of credits, you're terminated. You gotta go. Okay, so you don't want to get there. If it is not working, it's better if the class is still you're still not passing that class to let us know so that we'll see if there's any other alternative that we can do. Okay, if not, we'll advise you appropriately. Okay, but do not drop that class without the authorization from the DSO. If you do that, that is violation because you will be below full class, full load course of study, and that is grounds for termination. Okay, please. If you lose your status due to academic suspension or unauthorized drop below full course of study, you will need to leave the United States. You see that it's boldly written there in red. Take a photo of that if you have to remind yourself every time. Do not go, do not drop, do not drop, do not drop. Okay? Okay. Good. Now, you say, what if I'm sick? Now, okay, I'm failing that class because I was not going to the class because I was sick. Okay. Who did you tell that you were sick? DSOs, we are not magicians to know that you were sick, right? So if you don't tell us, we will not know. And if we don't know, we can't do anything about it. Okay? So if you are sick, you have health issues and you're in a hospital, critically sick, tell the doctor that one person you have to call or two persons you have call to make. Call your DSO or the school to talk to your DSO and your parents. Okay? Those are only two. Forget about your friends or tell your friends when we know that you're sick, and then we document it appropriately, we can always avoid uh, that termination. Okay, because we got this note from the doctor saying, okay, you have a student here who is sick and he cannot take classes. The doctor writes and signs it. We will adjust appropriately. Okay, that's cost by cost per student by student basis. Okay, so let us know if you're sick so that we can advise you properly, so we don't end up in termination. All right, now we got it. We got it. See that pretty face? That is how I'm happy. Or DSO Yolanda will be happy, or DSO John will be happy when you don't drop. You look full class. You don't drop your classes without letting us know. We happy. We like this. Nice face, nice people, sweet face. We'll be smiling. But if you have to drop without authorization, oh, that is not good, right? See, that is how the DSO will be. That is not good. Okay? So please do not drop. Do not drop below full course of study without authorization. We stress that because it is very important. And even when we say this, some students deliberately, I don't know if it is forgot, they still, some will do it, just like the ones that were terminated yesterday because they dropped just towards the end. They went and dropped the class because they realized, oh, I was not doing well in that class. They did not let us know. They had no authorization. They would drop the class, and so they were terminated. So now they have to go out somewhere else or leave the country or go to another school that would take them and file for reinstatement with lawyers. They pay the money and all that time that they wasted gone. We don't want to get there, okay? So please, that's why we're emphasizing on it and we're stressing on it because it is very, very important for your status. Okay? All right? We got this. We got this. We understand this. And we're not going to drop. If you're going to drop, please don't give me thumbs up. But if you're not going to drop, yes, then give me thumbs up. Okay? All right? Okay. I see a lot of thumbs up, so which means they understand and they're not going to drop. Okay. Dear, so Yolanda, you here?
I'm here.
Good. So the students, they all say they're not going to drop. And it's because they said they're not going to drop the classes, I'm not happy. And now I can hand them over to you to continue with the other phase, starting with employment. So over to you.
Thank you, DSO Nelson. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our International Information Session. And if you were up early or if you're up late, thank you for being up and participating. Excuse me, I'm trying to get over a little sinus infection. So if I sound a little nasally, that's why it is. Let's start with employment. First, give me a thumbs up if you're still with us. We know it's a little long. We know it's a lot of information, but we do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. This is a question students always ask. How do I find a job? How do I find a job? So let's go through employment really quick. So students have opportunities to work on campus. There's on-campus employment. There's government authorized off-campus employment, which is SSR, severe academic hardship. Those are things that you're not going to be able to apply for right away. If there's an issue, maybe later on down the line, you'll be able to apply for it. Curricular practical training, which is, in other words, in academic terms, it's an internship. Optional practical training. Optional practical training allows you to work or train in your program of study or your major for one academic year. Not one academic year, but 12 months. So you'll have the opportunity to work. So if you're in nursing, then once you graduate with your nursing degree, you'll have the opportunity to work in a nursing area for 1 year, 12 months. So the government counts years and months. They count by month. So it's 12 months. Everything with the federal government is in months. We may say years, we may count it different, but it's with months with them. On campus employment, that means that you can work on campus any one of our campus, any one of our 7 campuses, you're allowed to work 20 hours or less. So one of the 2 things that you should remember, you must maintain your F-1 student status. You must maintain your grade point average. That means you must attend your classes, do not drop any classes. If you're failing in classes and we find out, we are going to suggest that you do not work because you're here to attend classes, go to school, get an education, and not focus on work. And for employment, you will need a social security number. Well, let me back up. We do not find your on-campus employment for you. We have students that come to us. Can you find a job for me? Can you find a job for me? We have what's called a career service center. So you may be able to go there and they can assist you with looking for on-campus employment. So remember that DSOs do not find your jobs for you. Okay, everybody clear on that one? Everyone clear on how many hours you can work per semester? I mean, per um, working times? Can you work 30 hours full time on campus? I want to see that in the chat. I see that. No, exactly. So you may want to take a photo of this because this is something you should remember because students will come to us anyway and say, "Well, can I work um, 10 hours this week and can I work maybe 30 hours the next week because that's 40 hours." So no, it's only 20 hours per week. Visit your campus departments. Again, there's career services, and that's where you should be able to find employment opportunities. But I will tell you, there's not a lot of employment opportunities. Sometimes more come up, but again, it's really first come, first serve. Off-campus employment requires special permission from the U.S. government. For example, if you are working off campus, which would be OPT or CPT, that special permission, which we actually have to complete on your I-20. If you're applying for economic hardship, that will go through USCIS. If you're applying for a student special relief program, that's USCIS. All these programs will cost money. Special relief, you'll have to apply. Economic hardship, that's a fee. CPT, there's not a fee. We actually sign off on that, but it still is documented into the government system. OPT, there's a fee for that as well. So remember, the majority of these employments, except for on-campus employment, there's a fee attached to it. So be mindful when you're saying, "Oh, I want to apply for economic hardship," and there's special provisions and there's requirements. And at this point, you guys do not meet economic hardship. So remember that. Curricular practical training, as we call it, CPT for short. So we just want to make sure you guys understand that. It is defined as alternative work study, an internship or co-op education that is afforded by sponsoring employees through co-op agreements with the school. Basically, the school has an agreement with a company that allows you guys to participate in training. So you're getting training in a certain area. So if you are in engineering, and you have a course that requires engineering, you can apply for a CPT or curricular practical training. Other words, it's an internship. But remember, you have to be enrolled for 1 academic year before you can apply. So if you're an initial student and you're coming for your first semester and you have an internship, you cannot apply for it right away. You have to wait 1 academic year. Are we guys clear on that one? If you're a new student, saying you have civil engineering and you have a course that's required for you to go out in the community and work in engineering as an internship, are you going to come to the DSO and say, "I need a CPT" in your first semester? Are you going to come to your DSO and say, "Oh, I need a CPT because I have this opportunity to work at ABC company"? Put that in the chat for me. Is that a yes or no question? Are you going to come to your DSO and ask? Exactly, Abel. Exactly. How long do you have to be enrolled at Dallas College before you can ask for a CPT? How long? Exactly. One academic year. Well, our one academic year is 2 semesters or 36 weeks. So we will calculate that for you and let you know. We just don't want you to go out there and work. Just remember that. So this is something you can take a photo of as well. So you'll be authorized to participate in CPT training program that is integral part of an established curriculum. So this has to be part of your curriculum. It's either a class or you have to have hours. You can't say I was offered an internship and it's not a requirement for your program. So remember that's not going to work for you as well. It has to be directly related to your major of study. If you're in nursing program, no, you cannot go and work at the nail shop. That has nothing to do with nursing. So no. So remember those things have to be related to your program of study. So whatever major you choose, whatever program you select, that is the only way you can work in that area. So you cannot go in something at McDonald's and flip burgers, or someone offered you a job and you felt it was a good opportunity because you need money. No, that when you actually go do that, that means you are working illegally. And I think DSO Nelson talked about some things about, you saw the picture of that cat. So we are really nice. But then when things like that happen, we're required by law to maybe terminate your I-20. Those are things we do not want to do. Those are things that kind of make us upset. So not only does it hurt you, it upsets us as well, but we do have a job to do. So just make sure that you are following those rules. And I will say this, and then before I go to the next one, we have a lot of students that say, my friend did this or my friend said that. Remember, you have rules to follow that your friend may not be able to follow, or your friend maybe Google something that's not true. Anytime you need to have an answer to a question, please come see your DSO. Do not see your friend. Do not listen to your instructor when it comes to immigration. Do not listen to your parents when it comes to immigration, or do not listen to your girlfriend and your boyfriends. Do not. They are not DSOs. So they're not versed on those regulations as DSOs are. So let's get back to CPT. Students approved for CPT at Dallas College are eligible for part-time work only. So when you come to your DSO, are you going to ask for full-time work for CPT? Yes or no? I can't see it in the chat. Absolutely. Joel, great. You were the first one to answer. Absolutely not. You may be eligible to receive up to 12 months of post-completion OPT, which is optional practical training. So when you graduate with your program of study, you will apply for optional practical training in your program of study. So you're allowed to apply for OPT after each degree level, your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, your doctoral degree. As long as you've maintained your status and done what you're supposed to do, you have the opportunity to apply after each degree. So we have associate's degree and we have a limited number of bachelor's degrees. We do not offer master's degrees or doctorate degrees. So when you transfer to your university, then that's where you'll apply for your other OPT opportunities once you complete your other programs of studies. Again, OPT has to be related to your program of study. You cannot just go in and say, I want to flip burgers at McDonald's and you're in engineering because you want a job or you need money. That is not going to work. So most of these opportunities are related to your program of study unless it's economic hardship or something else. And students, you're eligible up to 90 days. You may apply up to 90 days before you complete your program of study. So this semester, our semester ends December 12th, which is today. So count back 90 days, and that's when you're allowed to apply for OPT. So we have students, you can apply really, some students say 3 months, but again, the way the federal government counts is in days and months, so days. So basically you'll have up to 90 days to apply. Are you guys clear on that? Do you need to take a photo of that one? Yes, no? Okay. So let's talk about income tax. This is in the United States, we are required to pay taxes, something that some countries may not have to do, but we do. We begrudgingly do it. We don't like to, but it's the federal law, so we have to. As an yeah, that's right. That's funny. That is funny. We do not like doing that. As an F-1 student, if you work, you are required to file your income tax. That's Form 1040-NR or 1040-NREZ. If you are not employed, you're required to complete Form 8843 by April 15th. That's should be 2025 because we passed. Sorry about that typo. It should be April 15th, 2025, unless they extend the date. But normally it's April 15th when taxes are due. So that means you guys have to complete that form. So we normally do not send out reminders. So I would take a photo of this because it's up to you all to complete this form. It's up to you all if you are working to complete the tax, or you can go find a CPA. We are not tax professionals, we are not tax experts. So if you come to a DSO and you say, well, I need you to assist me with my taxes, it's going to be a no. We have no authority, we have no expertise in taxes. Someone may be able to do their own taxes like me, but I have no expertise to give to you to say this is how you should do your taxes. So if I mess up my taxes, I'm in trouble. I'm not going to try to mess up your taxes. So remember that you guys are required to complete 8843. If you're working, you're going to complete 1040 NR or 1040 NRZ. Are we clear on the income tax information? Are we clear that you're in the United States and if you're working or not working, these are the requirements? Tell me in chat. Exactly. I see the thumbs up. You don't want to mess around with the IRS and the federal government. So anytime you're working, make sure you're doing those things. And you will have, once you find employment, if you find employment, you will have documents that you'll need to complete. So if you're working on campus and if it's through HR, they will provide you with documentation and they can assist you with letting you know how to fill these documents out. Any questions on anything so far? I know we'll have an opportunity to unmute, I think, every time so you guys can ask questions. Let's talk about travel. So when it's time for you to travel home, just like this is our last semester, we are going into the Christmas break where students will be off in December and some parts of January. So classes begin January 21st, but the DSOs, we come back to work on January 3rd. So we're there. So don't think we're not there. So even if you're here and classes do not start until the 21st, you are able to come in and see us, ask questions, and make sure you're enrolled and everything is going well. So we come back in on January 3rd. 3rd or the 2nd, Nelson? The 1st, so it's the 2nd, right?
I think it's the third.
Is it the 3rd?
I think the third. I'll
We'll
have
have
to
to,
double
I'm
check.
sorry. Yes, I'll have DSO Nelson check this calendar. It's one of those days for us, but we will be there before you guys get back. Travel endorsement. So you will have an I-20. You have 3 pages on your I-20, page 1, 2, and 3. Page 2, you will find your travel endorsement where your DSO will need to sign your I-20. If you are going home or if you want to travel outside the country, make sure that you have your visa, passport, everything is valid, and a travel I-20. Customs and Border Protection will look at that on the back. If there's not a signature, they may give you a 515 or they may not let you in. So make sure that you get a travel signature from on your I-20. So your I-20 signature is good for 1 year, but if you are on OPT, it's good for 6 months. So I would just advise to come back and get another signature. The other thing is very important. Do not wait until the last minute. When I say the last minute, do not wait till the day before. Do not wait till the day of. Do not leave the country. And do not say, oh, even 2 days before. We ask you to come at least 2 weeks before you're traveling for a signature. You have to remember that we have vacations, people get sick, we have meetings. There's sometimes the college is closed because of a college meeting or a function. So please come and visit us at least 2 weeks before you need a travel signature. And always trying to look at the college schedule to make sure that it's not a day where the college is closed or we're off. And so you can always email the DSO and say, well, will you be there? And just say, I need a travel signature. And we can do travel signatures electronically on your I-20, or you can bring it in if you just want us to a wet signature. But it may be easier just to send us an email, and we can issue a new I-20 if that's the requirement at that time to sign your I-20 for travel. Upon reentry, you must provide a copy of your I-94 to Dallas College. So when you exit and enter, your I-94 is documented through Customs and Border Patrol. So they will be documented that you have entered back into the US. So that means you need to send us a copy of the I-94 so that we can have it on record and make sure that when you came into the US, you came in on the right status as an F-1, not a B, not an H, not some weird visa type, because that's happened. So if you're not documented problem, that can be a problem for you later on. So when you're coming back home, when you're traveling, when you need a travel signature, when should you come to your DSO to ask for a travel signature? When you're returning home, what document will you need to provide to the DSO? Thank you, Bill. Is that Bill? Yes. Hannah? Abel? Excellent. Excellent. I can see you guys are going to be a good group. You're going to be perfect. You're not going to drop any classes. You're not going to get stuck at the border. You're not going to work off campus. You're going to do all the right things. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Copy of I-94 to re-enter 2 weeks and the copy of excellent. Thank you. So yes, you guys have it down. You can take a photo of this as well, because this is something you want to remember too. If you can't remember, because a lot of times you may not remember a lot of this information, but some of these things, if you just put it in your phone, you're going through your pictures, you're like, oh, I remember this. So now if I need a travel signature, I need to do this. And you probably should get a calendar so you guys can write things down. But I know you have a calendar on your phone. So you may want to put an alert on your phones. It's like, oh, I need to see the DSO on this day for a travel signature, or I need to see the DS on this day because I want to change my major and I need a new I-20, or I need to see the DSL on this day because I'm having issues in my class. So sometimes putting things on your phone, on your calendar, so that you can remember things like that, that may be helpful. If your F-1 visa has expired, you will need to have time to renew your visa while traveling. So your visa is your ticket into the US. Once you're in the US, if it expires, it's fine. If you exit the US, you cannot come and you cannot return to the US with an expired visa. You'll have to go to your embassy or your consulate and apply for a new visa. Are you guys clear about that? Some countries may give you a visa for 30 days. I can't remember what country. So if your visa is only good for 30 days, that means you cannot exit and try to go on a cruise. So if you see that, don't say, oh, Miss Johnson, I want to go on a cruise, but my visa is expired. Well, if your visa is expired, what you need to do, because you're not going to be able to enter the US. All right. So don't try to hang out with your friends on the cruise when you can't get back in. Are we clear on that? make sure all your documents are up to date. Make sure your passport is up to date at least 6 months in advance. So when it's time for it to apply for some of the benefits, you're not waiting around for a new passport. Let's talk about graduation. You've gone through your classes, you've completed all your courses, your requirements for your program of study, you're ready to graduate. Your options after graduate completing your studies. You may transfer out to another college or university, return to your home country or your home, wherever that may be. Change your status. I mean, you may change your status to whatever you feel like you want to change it to. And applying for OPT. So these are college level students only. So if you are in English, you're not going to do this. That's because you graduated from ESOL. That means you don't get to apply for OPT. So these are your options after graduation. You have to do something. You just can't hang around the United States. So remember, the longer you hang out or stay, you're overstaying. And then in the end, if you overstay, you may not be able to enter the U.S. again because remember, there's a clock on your SEVIS record. So they know when you're entering and exit the U.S. So make sure you're following those rules and regulations. I know you guys have a lot of them, but we're here to assist you to make sure that you are trying to do the right thing and follow the rules and regulations. So far, this group seems like we're not going to have zero issues. Everybody's going to do everything right. So it's important to stay connected. It's important to stay connected with your DSOs. It's important to stay connected with your classmates for projects. It's important to stay connected, I will say this, with your instructor. If you have any issues, your first line of contact is your instructor, not your DSO. If you're having problems like, I don't understand something in class, can you slow down? That's your instructor. So that's the first thing you'll do. The other thing I want to let you know, guys, you guys will have a Dallas College email address. All communications from our office will go to your Dallas College email address. So be sure to read it. So do not forward it because remember, we send important information out. We send important information about your status, immigration, things going on. So make sure that you take the time to read your information. We send your I-20s to that email. And you want to have your I-20 because that's an important document to have. Report a change of address to your international missions and compliance team within 10 days of your move. Do not let us know. We're required by federal law to report that. So we are relying on you to do your part as an F-1 student, which is a federal requirement to report to us. You can always email us, and then if you go to your eConnect account and change it, we do not get an alert at this time. Please just say, I changed my address in eConnect. Can you update my SEVIS record? Just make sure that you inform us, okay? We know as an initial student, when you come in, you may not have an address, but at some point you will, and we need that address as soon as possible. Official school and I-20 records must have a current address, a telephone number, and an email address. If you have an emergency contact again and that changes, let us know that as well, because sometimes they do change. I would recommend maybe a family member somewhere close to you. Sometimes people put their friends, but if say you get sick or something happens, I'm sure you want a family member to know. So make sure that when you completed your document that you had a emergency contact. And if that emergency contact is different, please update us and let us know as well. What's next? Everybody received this. Now I want to see thumbs up in the chat. Did everybody receive next steps for initial students? Yes? Did everybody read it? You can be honest. Is it yes or no in the chat? Be honest. Did you read this? If you didn't read it, you can say no. Okay. Did you guys understand it? Was it clear on what you need to do? It was clear? Okay, good. So DSO UG, she took a lot of time trying to create this for international students, and sometimes students do not read this. They will send us an email right after this information session and say, what's next? And so we have to refer them back to their next steps for initial students. So even though it's a piece of paper, well, it's online, you may want to take a picture of that as well, but you guys have it in an email. So these are just your next steps to getting your visa, paying your CVIS fee. And if you continue to scroll down, what's next when you're reporting, all those things that are required. Travel, it's a lot of information on a page, but we felt that this would be helpful for you all. Everything is there from when you will receive your I-20. Any questions on that? I'm not going to read all of those because you guys have this in front of you. If you have your acceptance letter, then you already have this. But I am proud of you guys since you said you all read it. Thank you very much. So, as you are an international student, what happens if you cannot make it on time for spring 2025? You have a report date, which is on your I-20, and you have a report date, and you have a date that you need to at least be past Customs and Border Protection. So if anything happens, and if you're saying I can't make it, I want to come in 2 or 3 weeks later, we're going to tell you no. If you try it, that is going to be on you. We have no control over what Customs and Border Protection will do. They may send you back. I mean, it can be costly, so just please follow the rules that's on your letter. Contact your DSO as soon as possible for a deferral by deferral deadline. It's indicated on your acceptance letter. Did everybody see that date on their acceptance letter? It's there. Okay, good, good. So to get a deferral, we're going to need you to do the following. Update your affidavit of support and update your bank letter, because by then your letter will be expired. So we'll need updated documents. And what I do as well, I always ask for you to update the intake form, because I've noticed sometimes when students deferral, they may have a different address. And so that's something that I want to make sure that I capture is the updated address, your home country address. Not everybody, but sometimes some people will have a different address. And so when I send it to you, that's what I'll send you all those documents. Can you go back one slide, DSO Nelson? One more. There you go. See that big warning down there? Can you guys see that warning? All right. So we're just warning you, do not try, because we have no control over that. There's nothing we can do, nothing at all. So we can't tangle with the federal government when it comes to those things. Okay, important dates to remember. December 8th, 2024. You can enter the US from this date. Because remember, you can only enter 30 days from the date that's on your I-20. January 7th, that's the reporting deadline. That means you should be in the United States, met with a DSO, preparing to register for classes, doing testing, paying for your classes. And I know you have other things to do. You may be looking for a place to live, housing, residence. So all that you need to be at the school by January 7th, meeting with your DSO. January 15th, class registration, that is the deadline. We cannot register you for classes after that. If you're not registered, you'll have to transfer out somewhere. But remember, if you are not registered by that date and you have to transfer out, you're going to have limited places to transfer. Most institutions have already, their deadlines have passed. So while you're dragging your feet or procrastinating, you don't want to do that, because you might find yourself back home. All right. And that, I'm sure that can be costly as well. January 21st, that is when classes begin. You begin your new future at Dallas College. So January 21st, classes begin. You're here in the country. You're not out traveling the United States saying, I'll be back soon. Remember, when you miss classes, that's going to be between you and your instructor. They have strict rules for that. Each instructor has how many classes you can and cannot miss. Do not email your DSO to say, I'm not there, I'm going to miss classes. That is between you and your instructor. So if for some reason you get dropped, if for some reason you get F because you're not there, if for some reason you miss too many classes, that's you and your instructor. However, you have to attend all your classes. DSO Nelson talked about this. That's part of regulations. Everybody clear on that, on the dates, on those important dates? Okay. We don't want to hear anybody saying, I'm traveling the United States. I will not be there for my first class. These are all our DSOs. On Brookhaven campus, we have DSO Quentin Lowry. There's his email. Myself, I'm on the Eastville campus. I'm in Mesquite. There's my email. Richland is DSO John Blaylock and Eugene Shin. There's her email as well. We have two at Richland, El Centro, and Cedar Valley is DSO Nelson. He has two campuses. And at North Lake, we have DSO Juan Cholito Garcia and we have Ricardo Williams. They're both at North Lake. So you can take a photo of this. And we also have our international email box as well. So it may take us up to 24 hours, a little more, to get to your international email box, but a lot of times it is swamped with mail. And we have a lot of duties besides we see students, we do presentations, we have special projects, all these things. So you guys have to be mindful sometimes. We're here to serve you, but remember, we all have schedules. We all have vacation. Sometimes we get sick. So are we guys clear on that? Here's a list of all our contact information. You can reach us by email. Any questions on that? Let's talk about registration. Advising. Another word for advising, our title for our advisors are called success coaches. So those are your academic advisors. Those are the folks you'll go to for registration, testing referrals, and enrollment. It's not your DSO. So you cannot come to us and say, I need to enroll in this class, or what classes do I need to enroll in? Well, I want to drop this class for another class. But when it comes to dropping classes, you don't want to drop a class and not add a class. And that means you're going to put yourself out of status. So your student success coach will be the one that will help you with your advising, will help you with your testing, help you with your enrollment, and there may be other resources they can help you with. If you're transferring to another institution, they will have that information on what may be required. Your DSO, again, see that right there at the bottom right corner? We are not what? Academic advisors. You will go to your success coach. Are we clear on that? So our success coaches are special population success coaches. So when you come on campus and you sign in a queue, it will say special population success coaches and it'll have advising. So when you want to sign in to see a DSO, it'll say special populations international admissions. So that's two different things. So make sure you're signing into the right queue. I don't think we have multicultural affairs here. They have a new name. I don't remember the name offhand. So this is just a list. You can take a photo of this. This is just a list of the things that they have for you guys to do. On Eastville campus, they're on our second floor. So every campus, they're located in a different place, but every campus has a multicultural affairs office. to assist. There's their email address, contact. These are some of the pictures of events that they've had in the past. But again, once you come on campus, you can go to their office, get more information. We encourage you to be involved. And this is their schedule for this year, their calendar. And so it looks like they're all done for fall and the next in spring. It's Black History Month coming up, the all month of February. That's something that's celebrated in the U.S. And there's Lunar New Year celebration, Women Histories Month. There are so many holidays. But again, the office can assist you with any questions you may have. You may have suggestions for a holiday from your country. Talk to them about that. Then there's student government, so they can give you pointers and things. So you may want to participate in extracurricular activities. So make sure you do that. Have some fun. There's a support and advocacy branch. There's a website, so you can take a photo of this. So again, we're going to go to questions and answers. DSO Nelson and our entire team appreciate you being here today. You guys were very attentive. You participated. That we appreciate that. Again, you were great. I see no one that's going to have problems with compliance. So, I mean, you're going to speak to your DSO when it's necessary. You're not going to listen to your friends. You're not going to listen to your boyfriend, girlfriend. You're not going to listen to your parents to say, well, when I was in school, this is what I did. Well, things have changed since your parents probably were in school. So, your DSOs are here to assist you, and we have other resources for other folks to assist you as well. So now we're at Q&A time. I'm not sure if we still have questions or not. So I think DSO Nelson, are we going to unmute or are they going to raise a hand and just
I think
answer their
we can
question?
unmute a lot of them. So I see DSO John has answered, if not all of it, with DSO Ricardo. So
Mm-hmm.
if your question has not been answered, please just retype it so we can answer it. I have this one from Ahmed. I have a question about applying for driving license. Driver license. Okay. Is the TBF testing work in, or do we need to book? Okay, that's okay.
Each campus is a
Tuberculosis.
little different, right?
Yes.
Because they
Uh,
have different, for each campus, they have different days, I believe, sometime for TB. So what you'll have to do is go on campus and then they can tell you, because it takes, so if you do it on Monday, you have to come back in 2 days to get your results, no matter what. So I think it may be just Monday and when.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think
Mm-hmm,
that's the least you can do TB because you cannot do it on Thursday or else you come in on Saturday. So
right.
they're not open on Saturday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can go on any campus for TB.
Mm-hmm,
For us here downtown, they do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then after you take the TB, then you come after 2 days, they read the results. Then they give you a paper with the result. Then that is submitted to the DSO. For driver license, I don't know the question that you have, but with your I-20, you can do your driver license. You have your valid I-20, you can go get do your driver license with no problem. Okay, I-20 and your passport, and I think they need two proof of residency, like bills. If the bills are not in your name, then the person who you live with can accompany you so they can sign up for your driver license. Um, Anna says, just to confirm, we can enter the country from December 8th, no longer, okay, no more than this January 7th to report ourselves to the DSO.
correct.
Yes. So from December 8th, you can enter. and reporting date is January 7th. So those who are already here, some of you are here, some of you you already met with a DSO. This is your last phase. For some of you are here, but those who are still to come in, yes. So you have December 7th to report it.
Andrea, yes. So you choose your courses. So when you sit with your student success coach, but remember, we've been registering for a few months, so you're going to get what's left. May not get the exact schedule you would like, but you can take classes on any campus at any time that's available. So you're not restricted.
They asking me for SSN. No, apartment does not be asking for SSN. Social Security is only used for work, so they will not ask for your Social Security. Have your I-20 and your passport. So if you have problem with the apartment, getting apartments, multicultural is one area that they can help you with. If you go to the multicultural office, and not that they have apartments, but they know of apartments that will not ask you for some stuff, so they can give you some recommendations. Okay. What do we do after TB test? TB test is one
Ah,
of your one of your requirements. So once you do a TB test, then you hand that to a DSO, so that you can be cleared for class registration. You cannot register for classes without taking a TB skin test. Okay. What are the consequences for not passing TSI? Well, TSI is for success coaches who look at your TSI, the results, and then based on that result, they'll see you raise up your class, you raise up your classes, they enroll you in classes. So that is for success coach.
um,
Okay. Yeah, so
thank
Yolanda
you,
already answered that.
John Blaylock, for reminding of that. So,
Okay, yes.
if you guys didn't see the chat, our mission offices will be closed tomorrow. So, if you're coming to the campus for admissions, we will not be there.
Yeah.
We'll actually be on another campus. I'm not going to tell you where everybody's going to be because we don't want you to show up there either.
So if you finish the sessions, you're here and you want to hand in your TB, you can do that on Monday. You can come on Monday, and then we can clear you off, and then you go register for classes immediately. Then you proceed to go meet with the success coach. But for tomorrow, we'll be out, so don't come in tomorrow. Don't show up tomorrow. And for
uh,
the holiday breaks, we'll be out from the 24th to the 3rd. So don't come here during Christmas Day. I will not be here. Don't come on the 26th either. So when we'll leave on the 24th, we'll only show up again on the 3rd.
Andrea has a question about athletics. So you can go to the athletic department to find out what you can participate in. I don't know if they have like walk-ons for different sports or not, but you can check to find out if you can participate. So that's organized, and then there's other sports they may have, like intramural sports on some campuses, but I'm not sure if all campuses have them. But then you have your college organized sports. So you can go to the athletic department to find out if there's a sport you're interested in, if they accept walk-ons for those teams.
Okay.
Yes, everyone does. Oh, sorry, go on, Nelson.
Is it better to contact a DSO via email or in person? Um, email is fine. In person is fine. If you're reporting, you want to see your DSO, you want to know your DSO, probably want to do it the first time in person before you start doing emails. But sometimes we out, like this Friday we out. If you have a question, you can send an email. That's fine as well. So we take in person and emails. The slide that we had our emails. You probably want to. Okay, I'll come back to. Yeah. So if you need to email, you have your I-20, the DSOs that issue your I-20. You want to shoot that DSO your question. If you have a question, so the DSO can address that. Go ahead, DSO Yolanda.
Um, let me find it. So we are at the end. So you want to go back to the survey. So we are at the end of our presentation. I hope if we did not answer all of you guys' questions, again, you can email us. I'm just reading notes. I'm so sorry. So have we answered all you guys' questions? I didn't see Mountain View in the campus. DSO Nelson, can you go back to
Yeah, they
the
didn't see
contact information?
they did not see Mountain View because there's no DSO at Mountain View, but you can contact any of us who who serve at that Mountain View area.
Yes.
So if you can take scan this QR code so you can survey to see if what we did is good, if it's something that we need to improve on, just take the survey and give us some good thumbs up, and so we can continue to provide good stuff for you all. So just take your phone and scan the code.
Andrea had a question. I'm not clear on what you mean, Andrea. Can a student report to school on the 2nd of January if student is yet to receive a visa? So how are you coming into the US?
Maybe they just want to know. So you can report. We back here on the 3rd, so you can report on the 3rd because the school will still not be open on the 2nd.
Right.
Will be open on the 3rd.
Yeah, but she was saying also yet to receive a visa, so they don't have a visa. So that was a little confusing.
So if you attended this session, is one of the requirements for you to proceed with class registration. So we will take that. We're already taking the attendance. We'll clear you off once you attend this session. So the session is officially over, and we'll give us probably a day to mark it on our calendars on our hub, and then you'll be cleared. The hold will be removed for you to proceed to the next level. So this is one of the requirements. You've done it. So
Joe,
if you're already here, submit your TSI, and then we'll be good.
Joel, I see what you're saying, but you're supposed to log in on your account. So you should have received an email and logged in. Because if you're using your brother's, that's not going to let us know that you were here. So
Well,
we're not going to be able to find you.
yeah, Joel, I know you. Okay, I will take note of that. But you were supposed to use your account. But just shoot me an email and remind me about it.
And somebody else, Remy, said that I'm also joining under a different email. So you guys, well, confusion, you might end up doing this session again. You guys have to make sure you follow the instructions. And somebody else said I logged in from my father's account. So email the
Well,
DSO.
Well, well, even though you log in with that, I think they're registered for this. They sign up for the session. When you sign up,
Mm.
it asks you for your student ID. So you use your student ID to sign up, right? So your student ID will show. So you'll be good. Okay? So as long as you put in your correct student ID, so you'll be fine.
Okay, so yes, if
Yes.
your student ID is correct, then you'll get credit,
Yes.
as DSO Nelson said.
Okay, I think we'll wrap this up. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you here in Dallas. If you're already here, if you're not, and if you're still to get a visa, we wish you good luck. Be confident, know your program, go defend yourself, and defend the college as well. So we're not just giving you I-20s. You can defend it, right? So go on there and speak boldly that and where you're going to study. So we'll see you here in January. Okay, for those who are already here, we'll see you here next week when you come to report.
Thank you. You all have a good day, rest of your day.